been doing it.
Welcome to Everything Guns, Episode 7.
Before we get into our gear reviews, let me just give a quick update on the Daniel Penny case out of New York. So last week he was indicted by the grand jury. He was initially charged with second-degree manslaughter, but now that looks like the charge is going to be reckless manslaughter and a second charge of criminal negligent homicide, which is just going to make it a little bit more difficult for him to use self-defense as an affirmative case. So it'd be interesting how that goes.
So we talked at all about what we thought he probably should have done, or what you should probably do now in a case like that.
Well, I mean, I don't think we've gone into detail on his as coming to the assistance of others, and there is a legal wise in most every state that's part of self-defense of yourself and others if there's a potential for great bodily harm. So, but there is some downside to it, and that's what worries me. We've got this Daniel Penny case. There's another case that we'll talk about here in a little while on our use of force cases of another subway case where a guy came in defense of his girlfriend, and he's also been arrested. We'll talk about that again, and I think we can go into more detail to it.
Yeah, I guess you try to do it without having a chokehold or being around the neck area. I don't know, to try to hold the arm somehow, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
you definitely need something like USPSA or something like that can help with legal fees, because I know he had it's not a GoFundMe, but it's something similar to that.
Yeah, and so did the other guy in New York.
Yeah, because it gets expensive.
Yeah,
if you're paying lawyers to defend you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the best answer to that is.
Yeah, we'll get in a little bit more to that when we go to the use of force reviews, but that's the latest update with him. And just kind of keep, grand jury, if a prosecutor wants a grand jury to indict somebody, they're going to indict it. They only hear one side of the case. Yeah. So it's just because the grand jury indicted him doesn't mean they've seen enough evidence to convict him. It just means the prosecutor presented evidence enough for them to be to give the indictment. So it'll be interesting to see what the defense comes up with. But my first gear review, and this segment is going to be brought to you by Misty Made It. For all your craft needs, check out Misty Made It. Use the discount code Clear Creek Shooting, get 10% off your first order. And by the way, also, if you'll send us a review or an email, or just give us or contact us, we'll send you a free T-shirt. So,
just one person, right?
Well, we'll do
couple.
We'll do a couple. We'll pick out a couple.
Yeah. They went on that first time we mentioned that.
Yeah. We sent out a bunch of shirts that first time.
Yeah.
A total of 0.
What's your first gear review?
So I got this came out at SHOT Show. It's the Holosun DRS Night Vision Optic. They also got a thermal red dot as well, but I'm just talking about the night vision one because I do have a set of analog night vision goggles, which those things are pretty awesome. But so now this is a red dot that goes on. It can go on them. Looks like it fits better on a rifle than it would a pistol, but it is a red dot sight with a Fusion night vision overlay, and I'll show you a picture of it in a minute. It does a digital zoom up to 8 times. So this is a digital night vision, which is, I have an analog pair, and you would think the digital would be better, right? But digital has a little bit of a lag to it, so what you see is not real time. I mean, it's milliseconds, but it's still not real time for the digital stuff. It's got
I would not think it would be better than analog.
Yeah, it's not. It's getting there, but it's still not there. It's got an onboard video recording. It's got a waterproof rating of an IP67.
What does that mean?
It's one of the highest levels of protection. Gives you complete protection against ingress of dust and airborne particles, protection against water, liquids up to and including immersion, and up to 1 meter of water.
Oh, that's not very far. That's like 3 feet.
Good. Well, how deep you want to go with it?
Well, I mean, I'd like it to be protected a little deeper than that if I drop it.
Well, don't drop it.
All right.
It runs off 2 rechargeable batteries, sensor resolution of 1024 by 768. It's got a 5-hour battery life. And I mean, that's going to be, of course, constant use. Window size of 1.25 inch by 0.98 inch. But what the good part of it is, so you get the night vision, and it's going to be priced at around $1,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
Hasn't come out yet, but for that price, it'd be worth trying.
Who'd you say made that? Holosun?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're coming out with some thermal models as well, which the thermal stuff looks pretty cool, but it's priced a bit more expensive. The HD thermal is going to be about $2,300, but probably not available to the end of the year. But man, it'd be pretty neat to have on a rifle. because I mean I really like the goggles
Yeah.
that I have for the
Yeah.
setup I've got. So that's my gear review.
Well, my first gear review is the Shield Mini Sight 2. It's the SMS2. It's what I have on my carry pistol. And they have newer versions out than that one. But that's according to Shield, it was the first, let's see, it was the first reflex sight made for just pistols. Yeah, it looks nice. Nice picture of that. It just threw me off what I was doing. But it's
picture.
So it's a red light emitting diode, no laser, completely eye safe, no radioactive materials. It's got a 4 MOA or 8 MOA dot that you can have. I have the 4 MOA on mine. I like that better. I don't like the larger dots. Anti-reflection lens coating, not colored. The only thing about mine, it uses one 3-volt lithium battery, the CR2032. It's on the bottom. So you have to take the side off to change out the battery. The battery life they claim is 2 to 3 years. I've changed mine. I've had it for a couple of years now. I've changed it twice, but it's been a while since I've changed it. So I try to, if I have it out, I usually try to cover the side so it doesn't use so much energy off of it. So
Since I had that issue with my red dot with that battery cover popping off, I prefer the ones on the bottom now.
yeah,
So,
I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, you just have to take it off and it seems when I take it off and change it and put it back on, it seems to hold at 0. Mine did get that crack at the top right corner pretty early on, and I probably, if I'd have wanted to, could have had that under warranty and got a new one, but I just never did because it wasn't really in my sight. So as far as view, so it didn't bother me too much. But it's a nice red dot. It auto adjusts to brightness. It's always on, so it's ready to go whenever you need it. And I'll use it on my carry optic every time I have it out.
yeah, I've got pretty much optics on all my pistols now that I shoot regularly.
All right, what else you got?
So let's just jump into some use.
You don't have another one? Well, I got another gear review then. I thought you had a second one.
No.
Yeah.
What's your
I
other
got my Springfield XD Mod 2 tactical pistol. This one here?
That's not a gear review. That's a gun review.
Well, we're not doing gun reviews too? I thought we were doing gear and gun.
All right, we do it. I got a gun.
We can do it later. All right, go ahead. What's up next?
Oh,
I thought we'd do them at the same time.
Well, there's a difference between gear and gun.
All right. We'll talk about that later.
All right, let's just jump into the use of force stuff first, then we'll come back to the gun reviews because I'm doing that, one of the guns that I talked about last week. But let's do the use of force reviews. The first one I've got is what we were talking about a little while ago. And this is kind of on the same theme of coming to the aid of others and the downs, maybe not, I guess I don't want to say downside, but the perils of it on some occasion. So this one, also out of New York, also in the subway, a man was causing problems with various people on the subway. So
what was he doing? Was he threatening them or just acting
just
crazy?
arguing with people,
Okay.
pushing people around. Ended up punching this guy and his girlfriend in the face. And so they started getting into a fight. And when they started fighting, then the guy, the Williams, and Jordan Williams, he's the one that was arrested after all this, and he was the one defending his girlfriend, pulled a knife and stabbed the man, ended up killing him. So you got two things. You've got coming to the aid of others because he was trying to come to help in defense of his girlfriend and defense of some other people in the subway, but then in a physical fight.
Did the girlfriend get hit before he came to the defense of others, or was it?
Yeah. So she got punched, and then he punched him.
Okay, so it was more in defense of her than others.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, others, yeah.
But I think the biggest part of this case, and a lot of the people that are in his corner sort of are saying this is similar to the Penny case, where Daniel Penny put the guy in the headlock.
Yeah, because you had a guy acting crazy on us.
On the subway.
Yeah.
Causing issues, and he's tried to stop him, but ended up.
They got in a punching and pushing and punching match, and then he pulls a knife.
Yeah. So he escalated it.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is. I think his problem he's going to have is the escalation part of it. So,
was there? I assume there was no disparity of size or anything.
Not that I could see in this one.
Yeah.
We've got another case here in a few minutes.
Yeah,
Similar
that's gonna be a
case, but there's a disparity in size. This is not a disparity in size. So you've got a non-lethal fight occurring, and then he raised the stakes by by pulling a knife. So now, in the eyes of the law, depending on how you look at it, he could have lost his innocence, which is one of the things that you have to argue self-defense, and the other guy could have regained his because it got escalated. So this is where he's going to have a problem. So you got to kind of think about what you're doing if you're going to come into.
Well, obviously you're going to want to come into defense of your girlfriend, wife, or other people that are around. I guess you need to check to see if there's some way to get out of that situation.
Or have a non-lethal weapon, and that's kind of
pepper spray. What about maybe even a handheld taser?
Just something that's not going to be lethal that you could use in those type of situations.
Yeah, stabbing a guy is not the best idea.
I don't know, getting away from it. You're stuck in a subway car.
Yeah,
so
I get that, but he's probably not chasing you if he's and they're fussing with other people.
Yeah. I don't know. They already started arresting, so I don't think.
Yeah,
getting away was probably not an option. But
it may have been at the beginning.
Could have been.
The guy starts issues, and you just take your. I mean, if I was there with my wife and kids, I'm probably saying, let's get to another car.
Yeah.
If possible. If you can't get to another car, then it's a whole different situation. And you may not be able to. I don't remember. We were in New York. I don't remember if you could go from car to car.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But, yeah, I mean, that'd be my first thing. Then the next thing, if I'm getting into a pushing and shoving match, I don't want to pull a knife out and stab somebody.
No, I mean, it's no different pulling a knife out or pulling a gun out. Either way, you've escalated the fight at that point.
Yeah.
Unless there's something that a disparity in size, you've got some medical issue, just something that's going to resonate with the jury. One good thing, not a good thing, he has been charged with manslaughter. He also got charged with criminal possession of a weapon because, of course, you can't have knives.
Yeah, it all depends on your length of a knife in New York. There's all kind of knife laws. There's knife laws everywhere people are not aware of.
Yep. He has got $71,000. He got that in one day for his legal defenses.
So did you say 71,000?
71,000.
Yeah,
so that's good.
nuts.
So I'm glad he's getting.
Oh,
that.
he got that.
He got that.
Oh, he got that much money. Okay.
Yeah. So
I thought he got charged that.
they charge him with.
I thought the lawyers already ran a bill up on him. Oh my gosh.
No,
that's worse than I thought it was.
You stabbed a guy you know owes $71,000. No, his legal defense fund has got in one day $71,000. So I'm sure it's well over $100,000 by now.
Yeah.
So, but he is arguing that it was self-defense, of course, and he should.
Oh, I would argue that too.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be an uphill battle as soon as you pull the knife out and stab him. I assume he only stabbed him once.
I don't know.
I
the
hope
guy
so.
died.
Yeah.
I don't know what it matters once or twice.
Well, I mean, it's no matter to a jury. If he sat there and stabbed him about 15 times, I think I'd rather be.
I get it.
Well, I just stabbed him once.
Yeah, no, I get it. Second case, I've got one. This is a kind of a similar escalation, but this one has a caveat to it. So you had two men. They were in a parking lot. One big guy. I mean, he was a big guy, probably well over 6 foot, 250 pounds, approaching this smaller guy who was getting out of his vehicle. And the guy probably weighed 150 pounds, if that much.
So he was in a parking garage?
Parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's approaching him, arguing, yelling at him. The larger man was definitely the initial aggressor. Looked like he was trying to get the guy to fight. He's much taller, much heavier. He then punched the smaller man right in the neck, knocked him back up against his car, basically knocked him back into his car. But immediately the smaller man began to reach for a gun in his waistband. And the big guy noticed what he was doing, so he kind of shoved the little guy back into his car, was trying to grab the gun, but the little guy pulled the gun out and shot him. But so that one, I could see from that. Let's just stop at that point. At that point, if it's shot him there, I think disparity in size, I think he could have won this case in self-defense.
Well, you got that, and then the guy was trying to go for his gun as well.
Yeah.
So he didn't have his gun out and just holding it on him. The guy was going to try to get his gun from him. So you got disparity in size. You got you got to get to the gun before that guy does.
Yeah,
you got to stop the.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in a lot of cases, your cars can fall under some castle doctrine stuff like your house, but not where he was at. I think he was in Colorado, so it doesn't work that way. But a lot of states it does. But the problem he's going to have is after that first or second shot, the larger guy basically turns around and takes off running.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
Now, guy continues to shoots him in the back when he's probably a good 10 or 15 feet away. Guy fall. He must have hit the spinal cord or something. The dude fell flat on his face and didn't move. So I'm assuming he was immediately dead. Yeah. So I think that's where he's going to have some big issues is those last few shots.
If he's running off, you got to stop.
Yeah, like we always say.
I don't know. Adrenaline is running, but you got to stop shooting him.
Yeah.
You already know he doesn't have a weapon because he tried to get yours. So.
Yeah, and there was other people in that parking lot. Boy, they scattered.
Oh, I bet they did.
Everybody jumping in their cars and leaving.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
But again, you had a non-deadly fight that turned into a deadly fight. So you had a fist fight, but on this one there was a difference in sizes. So,
but it didn't say what started the fight or the argument.
I didn't see that. It looks like it was some kind of road rage. Looks like they got into it. They pulled in this parking lot and they were just going to get into it.
Don't do that.
The smaller guy had two other guys in his car, but they weren't helping at all. One guy was completely out of the fight on the other side of the car. The second guy was standing on the same side, wasn't helping his buddy out at all. And then once he got punched, everybody just kind of spread out.
Man, the road rage stuff is so stupid. The one I got is one or two of them is road rage. One of them is definitely road rage. That's what I'm going to talk about. But yeah, I guess I definitely would say stop shooting if the guy's running off.
Yeah, I think he was good. I think he was good up to that point. I think even though he escalated into a deadly force fight, I think he was going to be justified just to do the disparity in size because there's no way he could have held that guy off.
Yeah, I agree with that. But then, if he's running off, you got to stop.
But even with that, I think he could have had some issues with the jury saying, "Well, you had two friends with you."
Yeah, they don't sound like they liked it a whole lot.
They didn't get it.
Maybe let's see this guy get whooped for running his mouth.
Yeah, they didn't get involved at all.
Yeah. Well, I got one out of Philadelphia. A woman shot a crowbar wielding man, and the police, the Philadelphia police, described this as a road rage incident. It didn't go into any detail of what started the incident. It just said, "Hey, this was a road rage incident." So at some point, police say a 22-year-old man got out of his vehicle and smashed the woman's rear window with a crowbar. In response, the woman shot the man one time in the groin. Good shot. Small says, which is I guess the police, says the man tried to drive himself to the hospital but fell out of his vehicle along 22nd and Market Streets in Center City. He was transported to the hospital with serious injuries.
Yeah, I see so.
Officials say the woman had a permit to carry and is cooperating with police in the investigation. No word on the man's identity. Police also said another woman was riding passenger in the man's car, but she fled on foot from the scene. No arrests have been made at this point. So, another road rage incident. I don't know if she had the opportunity to drive away. I would think she would if she's waiting on him to come around the back of the vehicle to knock it out with a crowbar, or maybe they were in traffic. I don't know. But I guess the first thought I would have is try to get out of there. Just leave. But I don't know. That'd be my first thought. Her shooting him,
I don't know.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
he's got a crowbar.
Yeah.
He's already smashed the window. Yeah. It's a woman against a man. He's got an object that was gonna hurt her for sure.
And she only fired once?
As far as I can tell, she fired one time and hit him in the groin.
Yeah. Well, that definitely stopped the.
He left at that. Yeah. And she didn't shoot him again like the other guy. She shot him the one time and let it go. He fled and couldn't make it to the hospital.
And they didn't say whether she was charged or not yet.
No arrests have been made at this point.
Even with him?
No, really. That's all it said. Yeah,
that's weird.
They're investigating.
Okay,
and that was like the end of last month when I hadn't seen any updates on it. But so my first, maybe try to get out of there. If you can't get out of there, I think her pulling a firearm and shooting him was legitimate. She feared for her life, so I didn't have an issue with her shooting him.
Yeah, I get it. One big thing that people that are carrying a firearm with them, you've got to try to stay out of these type of situations.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Somebody cuts you off, you got to let it go.
Yeah.
You can't get involved in that type of stuff if you're carrying. I get you want to. Don't give them the finger. Don't do anything. Just let it go because it could escalate like this. Now, Now she shot a guy. She could end up getting charged with it. If she killed him, she could have been charged with that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just a lot of bad
just
things.
let your ego go and get on out
Yep.
of there. It's not worth, your ego's not worth going to jail over. So, I mean, she may not, and she had a right to carry the gun, but try to stay out of those situations.
Yeah, I think she's got a good case. I would not be surprised if she gets arrested. We always teach in our classes, just assume you're going to get arrested if you use lethal
Yeah.
force, regardless of whether you're right or not.
Yeah, I
Just
guess
be prepared for it.
Yeah, I guess on that one she could have had some pepper spray and tried to deploy that first, which is not a bad thing. I mean, once he busts the window, you could try to pepper spray him and see if that stopped. And if
Yeah,
not,
the bad thing about that, with that, if he was that close, she would have probably caught a little bit.
yeah,
of
probably
pepper spray
so.
too.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm just
Yeah.
You're always pushing the second form of self-defense, so I threw it out
No,
there.
I agree. I'm just saying that
I remember
in
that on that one.
an enclosed area, it might have been difficult. It could have impacted her. So I got one where a Virginia homeowner kills a home invader, and we see a lot of these home invader cases because they get publicized a little bit more. A Grayson County man was confronted by a stranger who broke into his bedroom through a window. The homeowner went for a handgun he kept in the room, and a struggle ensued. Homeowner ended up shooting the stranger twice, killing him. So, good self-defense, had a firearm available. You know, a lot of people talk about keeping one in a little lock box or a little safe next to your bed. I've always said that's not a good idea because if you need it immediately, it's going to be hard to get it out of there, even if it's
Yeah.
a fingerprint thing or something that's
I
quick.
understand that when you have small children at the house, because they'll sneak up on you in your house and stare at you over the bed. So you got to be careful to have a gun out from there. They'll do it. Scare the crap out of you. So I understand having a safe with small children in the house, but if you don't have children in the house or you got teenagers that understand gun safety, then yeah, I want my gun ready. And it sounds like he had his gun ready. And
It did. It also goes to what we've talked about before, setting up a home defense plan. Maybe, this says he broke into his bedroom through a window. It didn't say he broke the window. It just said he came through the window. So I don't know if he broke the window. Maybe he didn't have his window closed, which is not good. If he did break the window, maybe you look at reinforcing, putting some of that film over your window so if it does break, you're not going to break it open. So there's a lot of the things that you could do to make your house a little bit more difficult to get into if you're not wanting to keep a gun out in the open.
Well, as soon as he comes in, I'm thinking they're there to do harm, so I don't have any issue with him shooting him at all.
No, I think absolutely, because you have, right then it's considered imminent. He's an imminent threat regardless of what he does. He's an imminent threat when he comes through there.
Yeah.
You're the innocent party because you're in your house. You have no duty to retreat.
You're laughing at the word duty. It's Judy.
So, due to the castle doctrine, even similar to a stand your ground law, where if you're outside your house, you have no duty to retreat. In I think 39 states, but in your house, every state has castle doctrine. I think there's only one state where you have a duty to retreat in your house, and it's the other 49 you don't have to.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like he did what he needed to do.
Yeah, good.
So
good one there.
So I got one out of Little Rock, Arkansas. It says Little Rock police said that a man found shot in the River Market parking deck on Memorial Day attacked a Mississippi family before he was injured. According to the Little Rock Police Department, one of the victims told officers that a man came up from behind and hit him several times as the victim was loading a wagon onto the roof of the vehicle. Little Rock police investigate River Market area shooting on Memorial Day. What are you doing? I just read the next line. That's a weird way to put this article.
Guys, I'm so confused now. I don't know what's
All
going
right,
on.
so you had a family in a parking garage. A guy was loading a wagon on top of his car.
Part of the family. Gotcha.
Yep. As he's loading his wagon, some guy comes up from behind him and hits him and puts him to the ground. He then jumps in the driver's side, and the wife is in the passenger side.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so
Not a good situation.
no, and there was 2 children in the back. So he was probably going to try to carjack this vehicle. Well, not with the wife in there. The wife pulled a gun and shoots the guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good job
So
there.
once then she shot him, made sure everybody was safe. She called 911. Officers arrived on the scene, made sure the victims were safe. They began first aid on the suspect until medical personnel arrived. And the guy's in the hospital at this point.
Which guy? So, the guy she shot or the dad?
The dad.
Did he ever wake up?
I assume he woke up. He got hit more than once. She was actually, let's see, he was hit.
That's good down. For the ego.
When the guy got in the car, he hits the woman in the face. The report said she told police that she pulled out her pistol then and shot toward the suspect, striking him in the head and neck area. So she shot more than twice.
Nice.
So he jumps in, punches her. She pulls the gun and starts firing away.
I'm just glad she had it where it was that readily available. After even getting punched, you're still able to do it. Yeah, that's nice.
At least she didn't say to the police, she just started firing with her eyes closed like that one guy.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
She did say.
I need to look that back up, see where he's at.
She started firing, struck the guy in the head and neck, and he's currently in the hospital. I don't know how he's doing now, but so good on her for having a gun. So that's what we talked about before.
Yep.
For carrying a gun, it's probably better that our wife carried a gun, because if she hadn't had a gun, then
who knows what would happen?
You know what happened to her and the children, because he was
even if he did have a gun, didn't matter because that guy came up behind him and hit him.
Yeah,
so he had no chance.
So what could be done? They're in a parking garage, so. Yeah. You want to, I guess, if you park on the first level, may be better. Parking near the entrances or near elevators so you can get in and out quickly may be better. A well-lit area you want to park at.
Got to be aware of your surroundings. Got to be watching what's going on.
Yeah, so he was obviously he wasn't paying attention to what's going on around him. And I get that. I mean, you're putting something on the vehicle and you're not thinking you're about to be attacked, but you got to be ready for it. And luckily, the wife was ready, more ready than he was.
Yeah.
And she took care of it.
Yep, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I always try to remind my wife and my daughter to carry when they go places. So good job on her part. I've got one more. It's one of my favorite ones. Tennessee man fires at a naked burglar. It makes no sense, but here it is.
Why is this one of your favorite ones?
It's funny.
Okay.
No, because it's just funny.
Continue.
Naked man invaded a Knoxville residence one day, rummaging through drawers and other parts of the house and vandalizing property. The homeowner found the man inside when he entered his residence and ordered him out. After ordering his wife to flee the home, the owner took up a pistol and confronted the intruder. But rather than comply with the commands to leave, the intruder continued to vandalize property, taking up a windshield wiper he apparently tore off the resident's vehicle, and started advancing on the homeowner. Intruder disregarded several orders to lay down on the ground, and then the homeowner shot him once in the chest, critically injuring him, and of course ending the incident.
Yeah, well, I don't know what else you do. It sounds like he gave him plenty of opportunity to leave, to stop.
But this is a good example. We talked about in the case on the subway where you escalated a non-deadly force event to a deadly force event. Well, here you get a guy, all he has is a windshield wiper in his hand, but he's in the guy's house.
He's in the house, yeah.
So it's a deadly force event. No matter what, even if he didn't have a weapon, it's considered a deadly force event.
Yeah, if somebody breaks into my home, I'm thinking they're going to try to do bodily harm to me, and I'm going to use a pistol or a rifle or something to stop that threat.
You automatically have the imminence, which is something that is imminent to happen. You also have reasonableness. A reasonable person could feel the same way. You have innocence on your side, so you've got 4 or 5 of the things you need for a self-defense case already built in. So
sounds like he was thinking pretty good. He got his wife out of there, got her out of and then she could go out and call 911.
Well, it sounds like this guy was just vandalizing stuff.
It's probably drugs. Had to be. Sure. I mean, so there was you weren't going to be able to rationalize with him at any point. It didn't seem like so.
No.
Sounds like he had his gun readily available, which is we just talked about that on another one. So. I don't see anything that he did wrong.
Yeah, you got to carry. I mean, this is why you carry a firearm.
Luckily, the other guy didn't have a gun, because then it could have.
Where would he have kept it?
They could have had a holster on. I don't know. I don't think we would have kept a gun. It would have been a small one.
So he did not have a gun. He had a windshield wiper.
Yeah. That's probably not the best thing to use against a gun.
No. So you got I think that's it for the use of force cases.
I maybe I had one more. I think I had one more.
Today?
No, I don't have one more.
All right, let's just jump right into our gun reviews. I'll jump off first. So last week we talked about our 5 guns full-size guns that we would like to have. And
Well, I did.
well,
You talked about competition pistols.
that I would like to have.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
All right.
One of them was the M&P M2.0 competitor. The looks of this gun, I mean, I really like the looks of it. So it's a steel frame gun. I think it's made to compete with the Canic steel frame. It's made to compete with the, what is that other steel frame gun that's used? Oh, heck. I can't never remember that one.
Walter's got one.
No, not the Walther. The
Beretta has a steel frame.
The
gun.
Shadow. The CZ
Oh,
Shadow.
okay.
Yeah, CZ Shadow did that one. So this is kind of made to compete with those two. And if you look, there's a picture of it. Man, it is a nice,
Yeah, it looks good.
nice, good. It's got some nice cuts in it. The angle is nice. It's got a 5-inch barrel on this thing. Weighs 29 ounces, so it's a little bit lighter than the CZ Shadow. A little bit lighter than the Canic. So it is striker fired. The overall length is just 5.5 inches. It's got a height, same height. Definitely designed
The
for
length?
competition.
No, the
That
length's
can't
got to
right.
be. The length's got to be
Yeah,
more
that-
than 5.5
I
inches.
agree.
You got a 5-inch barrel in that thing.
I don't know what the must be 8. I must can't read my
It's
writing.
got to be close to 8.
The
8
height
inches.
is 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be close
Yeah, hold on a
to
second. I
8
can-
inches in length.
I
Probably
agree.
8.3
Just a
or
second.
something.
I can look and see. Let me look and see.
It's all barrel. Got no grip or
see.
nothing. Just the barrel.
8.25 inches
Yeah.
overall length. Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, that
that
makes
sounds
more
fair.
sense.
Yeah, I agree. It did sound weird. Includes a flared magazine well, but that would have to be removed if you shot it in carry optics, which is
You
stupid.
could do it in limited optics.
You can do it limited optics, and I think, not to get into USPSA stuff, but I think limited optics is going to end up getting rid of carry optics because
Yeah,
a lot of people are
probably.
going to want to shoot with the mag well on in there.
Yeah.
It's same guns. People are going shooting their carry optic guns in limited optics and just putting a mag well on it. So same thing. It does have some aggressive lightning cuts. It is optic ready, and it comes with a different, kind of like what you see with the Canic. It comes with the different base plates, so you can put.
Yeah. So the
different
lightning
types
cuts, are they just for the looks, or they do anything in particular?
reduces the weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Similar to the Canic.
Yeah.
It doesn't help any recoil. It just reduces the weight.
Yeah, it got some interchangeable grips, fiber optic front sight with blacked out rear sight, reversible oversized magazine release. I did see one of the guys that was shooting it on a YouTube video I was watching. He was having issues when he was shooting opposite his weekend. He would always hit the magazine release.
Oh, and
With
he
the
dropped his
oversized and
mag.
drop his mag.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never had that issues with him. I like the
Yeah.
oversized ones.
I assume it's optic ready. Did you say that already?
I said that. They even
Okay.
talked about the base plates.
Yeah, you did.
It's got an enhanced sear for lighter, crisper trigger. I watched the video of it. It's probably the best trigger I've seen on the Smith & Wesson M&P, but it's still not as good as a Canic. You see,
Yeah.
the reset is short, but it's still not as short, and there's still
Yeah.
a little bit of take up on it.
Yeah.
It's got a low barrel bore axis. The bore axis to height at the barrel and the slides, which is above the shooter grip, so it is low, so it definitely helps with recoil there.
Yep.
And it comes with 4 17-round magazines.
Oh, well,
Looks
that's
like it
nice.
shoots good. I mean, to
What
me,
was the price of it?
MSRP is right around $999. I found it at Cabela's for $949.
Yeah.
So a little more expensive than the Canic, a little less expensive
Yeah.
than the Shadow Z,
Yeah. Okay.
CZ Shadow, whatever we call it.
Yeah.
It just looks good.
Yeah,
If I wasn't
nice
getting,
looking gun.
It is a nice looking gun.
Well, I have the Springfield XD Mod 2 Tactical. It's an older gun. I'm not even sure they even make this gun anymore. But it's 5-inch barrel. Its height is 5.5. Its length, unlike the one you talked about, it actually is 8.3 inches.
This is 8.25.
Yeah.
How-
So one thing about it is it's got a double stack magazine, but the grip width is 1.2 inches. Feel that grip width. I mean it's not thick, and it's got a good feel to it. It feels good in the hand. 16 round mag comes with 2. Hammer Forged carbon steel Mennonite barrel. I mean, it's built for competition. So it's a nice gun. I think I got it for like $469.
That's a good one. I got a couple. Well, I got several Springfields. I got two XDMs.
Yeah, this is when they did when Springfield was putting on their stupid pistols the grip zone, like you didn't know where to hold the gun.
Yeah.
So
all that does is make it too smooth.
Well, it's real smooth out there, man. It's got some good texture, kind of in the front and the back, but in the palm, it's real smooth. So I would probably put, if I was shooting it a lot now, I would put Talon grips on it and make it nice.
Yeah.
It sits well in the hand. It's got so it's got a fiber optic front sight and two white. The rear side is two little white dots. So it looks good. I mean, it picks up nice. It's a really good shooting gun. The trigger, nothing like our Canics, obviously. So it's got it could definitely have a better trigger in it.
Yeah, they make a lot of triggers for the Springfields. I changed out my XDM. I changed it out to a straight face trigger in my XDM. I can't remember what brand it was, but man, it made it is probably as good as the Canics.
Yeah, it does have a dual spring with full length guide rod, so it's really good on recoil. So it shoots good. So I like the gun.
You didn't bring it out last week, did you?
No, I may bring it next time. I hadn't shot that. It's been a few weeks since I shot it. I used it for a couple of competitions. Did really well with it.
Okay.
So that's my gun review.
All right, so couple updates on USPSA side of things. The election started June 15th, or Area 6 and presidential election, things I could vote for. It's also an Area 8 election going on. But I voted USPSA president. I voted for Luigi Lee. I read his bio. He had his questions that he answered from the USPSA board. Really liked him. Then I've recently listened to a couple other people talking about him. Ben Berry had a good discussion with him. I actually listened to Luigi Lee on, I can't remember what the other show it was that I listened to him on, but he answered a lot of good questions and was good.
It just blows my mind how long that election is.
Oh, it's crazy.
It seems to me you could shorten that up a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, you're still not going to take office until the first of the year. So regardless of how long, as long as they get it done,
they're not going to know
till November.
Like November for the president, and then for some of the area directors, it'll
be the same for Area 6. Area 8's only got 2 people running, so they'll know at July 15th, end of July, they'll know who won Area 8. Area 6, you've got 3 people running. This first round is going to knock out either Ben Berry or Matt Hopkins. One of those guys will get knocked out, which sucks.
That's the 2 you.
One of those guys hopefully will end up winning that election. I voted for Ben Berry.
I can't vote in it, but I would hope that one of those guys just to try to turn the organization around.
Yeah, I still say Yi-Min Lin's still running. I think it would be interesting if he won, but if he does, he still has to go back to the board and ask if he can get his RO credentials back to even be president. There's no way they're going to let him. They turned him down now. Why would they give him this?
Let's say he wins, and he goes and does that, and then they decline it. What's that going to do to the organization?
Well,
I mean, that's going to tear it apart, because if he won a majority of the votes, and now you got the board saying, we're still not going to let him come in. I don't care what. Yeah, I don't know. They probably don't care.
I mean, you got a membership of what? 35,000 people membership.
Yeah. And
the only people that care about you're going to have a couple thousand people end up voting during this thing. Yeah. Nobody pays attention to this stuff like they should.
Yeah. So they may not care then.
Yeah. So I doubt they will. No real updates on my FFL. Still waiting on the investigational officer to give me a call so we can do my audit, my inspection to get that moving on. I will here in a couple of weeks start putting in the paperwork for my SOT, because it goes from calendar year July to July. So if I'd got it in June, I would have to pay another fee in July. So I would only had 1 month so I can get it.
Just think what we can do. We can get some automatic weapons.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the fun we have at the range.
I can get the NFA stuff. So
I can joke.
I know. It's a special operational tax, and so it'll be pretty neat. I can deal with NFA stuff, suppressors, short-barreled rifles. There are, you can deal with automatic weapons as well. So pretty neat. You can deal with some of the NFA stuff. It's
a little more expensive. Burn through some money shooting them.
Yeah. But I'm more interested in the suppressor stuff, being able to get suppressors and sell those. So
yeah.
So it'd be pretty neat. There is a CO Nationals coming up, Carry Optic Nationals coming up. Starting this week, I think Wednesday. I think is when it starts
Okay.
for the.
That's when we listened on the Hit Factor, and they were
Yeah, it's a loan. There's like 8 or 9 divisions in USPSA, and a lot of times they'll put nationals, and they have 3 or 4 divisions shooting at a nationals. But this is a Carry Optics, and everybody's shooting carry.
all the
optics.
top guys are there from what they were saying. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be unreal.
They were talking
10
about
people can win.
all the way out to almost 100. They could be at 80%,
Yeah, that's crazy.
which is
Yeah, the top 10 or 15 guys will be 90% of the winner. So a lot of listeners probably don't understand that.
no,
that means,
that's
but
they're close to top.
Yeah.
Have you heard if they're going to be live streaming any of that?
I doubt it. I hadn't heard anything about that. And there's
I know.
some groups that, Shooting USA wants to get out there and start doing some things. They're running like a side match that's pretty cool, a bill drill side match.
Yeah.
They're gonna live stream that or stream that.
I'd like
I'm
to
gonna
see
try
that.
To find that.
Yeah, I'd
Isaac
definitely like to see
Lockwood
that.
won it last year.
Yeah,
I can't remember the time he put up on a bill
I know.
drill.
They got him coming back to
Yeah. He's defending.
to defend it. Yeah,
And a bill drill, for anybody that doesn't know, is basically you shoot 6 shots on a target. If you hit all targets in the A zone, then your time counts.
yeah.
And this guy
They're
will probably
10
do it under
10
2
yards,
seconds.
6 shots. Only time that counts is if you get all 6 in the A zone.
Yeah, I imagine. I can't remember his time, but it was probably it was well below 2
Yeah,
seconds.
I know they were saying you get a couple shots for $20.
Yeah.
Couple.
And then the
couple
2
runs for
guys in the
$20.
final get 6 runs at it. in
Yeah,
the
6
final.
runs, and then every how many people you get, they all throw in $20, and then they divvy out the money for the winners.
Yeah, even if they do live stream the Carry Optics, the live stream is horrible the way they've done it in the past. They basically set
well-
up security cameras and you can just see a stage. You have
Yeah,
no
you spend most
idea.
of the time watching them walk through the stage.
Yeah,
And you don't know who's shooting. You don't see the super squads because they're showing these other guys that are shooting most of the time. They're just whoever shows up. So
Yeah, and there's 2 super squads, 2 men super squads, and 1 female super squad
Yeah.
in this one, and they've got them spread out a little bit so you can. It's going to be interesting to see how the scores go. and see
they
what
can
happens.
make that so much better and make it enjoyable to watch.
Well, if you look at the way they do IPSC, people go and watch those IPSC matches. You look at IPSC matches on YouTube, and you see stands of people watching them.
Crap,
They have a shoot off.
I've seen stands of people watching frisbee,
Yeah, but not,
frisbee golf.
nobody watches.
People watching that crap or cornhole, and you got tons of people watching it.
Cornhole's on ESPN the other
But
day.
you can't get the top shooting sport to have any spectators because they don't want to put any money in it. I guess because they're taking all the money for themselves.
Yeah, it looks like
Allegedly.
Ain't no allegedly. I don't know why you care. You're not even in the organization. You always do that. I don't know why you care. Did you say allegedly or allegedly?
No, I said allegedly. I said it
Okay.
right this time.
Okay.
What's in you? Anything else in your little book over there?
Range update. We talked. Really, that's the last thing I got. We didn't really do anything last week. Just went out and did some shooting. Still looking for somebody to do some excavation work out there. Hopefully during the week of the 4th of July, I can get some work done out there to make us a couple berms and fix us up a couple more stages. So that'd be pretty neat. So, and the last thing I got. How far along are we now?
45 minutes or so.
I got a tip of the week. We've been meaning to do this.
crap.
We've been meaning to do this every week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add a tip of the week to kind of close out the podcast. And this one is basically what we've already talked about over a couple of the scenarios we talked about. And it's having some type of non-lethal weapon on you. If you're carrying a firearm, have some non-lethal weapon,
Yeah.
whether it's pepper spray, a taser. I prefer pepper spray more than a taser.
What do you carry?
Pepper spray.
All the time?
Yeah, I don't have it on me now, but I
How
had it
come?
at work today. Because I got my gun right here. If you mouth off, that's why.
Yeah,
Actually,
pepper spray would be good. I need to. I don't know. I carry a knife, but that's not for. Well,
We were just talking about not
But
making it
not-
illegal.
Yeah, that's just for cutting open stuff. It's not for. It's not for my non-lethal force. There,
There is some downsides.
I got those
to it.
lightning and thunder for my non-lethal.
Okay. So there is a downside to carrying something like pepper spray or taser. So if you do go to your firearm first, and then you could be
Yeah.
questioned. Well, why didn't you go to
Why
the
didn't
pepper
you try
spray
that first?
So
Yeah.
it could. There is that, but it also if it is not a lethal. If you don't need to use lethal force, it's always good to have another option.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't have it, you have no option.
Yeah, it sounds like a couple of the scenarios that we had. It would have been nice to have another option as opposed to going straight to the gun.
Yep. So that's all I've got for today. So is that it for you?
I don't have anything else.
All right. So until next time, we are Everything Guns.